Hello and welcome to this episode of HipHipBarbaKnitStories. My name is Linda and I'm talking to you from Reykjavik, Iceland. I decided to splurge a little bit and get some lights because after my last episode, I figured that I probably wouldn't be able to podcast at all this winter because it's been so dark, and for the few hours that we have of brightness, of daylight here this time of year, I'm at the office. I'm working. So I decided if I'm gonna continue this thing, I'm gonna get some lights. It's the only way that I can do this. So I had some birthday money left, so I decided to just get a little simple light just to make this a little bit easier for everybody because I was super unhappy with the quality of my last podcast. Anyway, you can find me on Ravelry as HipHipBarbaKnit, and you can find me on Instagram as BarbaKnit. I'm mostly active on Instagram. I do check Ravelry every now and then though. We also have a group for the podcast, but I've been really bad at keeping up with it, and there's nothing going on there at the moment as far as like knit-alongs and stuff. So I hope that I can do more in the group after Christmas in the new year, but we'll see. I have some ideas, but no promises. not at this point in my life. I'm not willing to make any big promises. Okay, I do have a few finished objects to talk about and some whips. Last episode I talked about picking up my old whips and working on them a little bit. Yeah, that hasn't happened much. I have been focusing on one project that I'm working on for Stephen West, but that's of course a secret project and I can't show it to you. However, I have been a good little knitter and have been working on a lot of things. So first I'm gonna show you two pairs of socks that I finished recently. I showed you these on the last episode, but I hadn't put the heels in. So now I have put the heels in and I've plucked them. Oh, look at the sparkle. Tick. So these are just plain vanilla socks. I always knit my socks cuff down. I cast on 60 stitches. I use 2.25 millimeter needles. The rest is just something that I do. Sometimes I put in, like on these, I did an afterthought heel. Sometimes I do a heel flap and gusset. Sometimes I do a German short row heel. It basically depends on what I feel like when I'm knitting the socks and what I think the yarn would look good. Like when I'm doing self-strapping, I usually always put in an afterthought heel because I don't want to interrupt the stripes. But anything else, I do whatever I want to do at the given time. So this black sparkly yarn, pardon my fingernails, I need a manicure. This black sparkly yarn that I used for the heels, toes and cuffs is Regia glitter. The main color is also sparkly. Oh, you can see it a little bit now. This is yarn dyed by her name is Salome. She has the company called Dr. Dyeworks here in Iceland. This was a 50 gram skein that I picked up when I went up north earlier this year in August. So I just did a tube or 2 tubes, and then I put in heels and toes and cuffs. So yeah, these are done, completely done, because I almost had them done last time. Another pair of socks that's done are these fun Christmas socks. I made these out of Hex Dyeworks. The colorway is called Grilla, and Grilla is the mother of the 13 Santa Clauses that we have here in Iceland. These are also knit cuff down, 60 stitches, 2.25 millimeter needles. The heel is an afterthought heel, and the toe, this is a mini skein that I had here at home. I think it was from my Vivid Wool calendar last year or the year before, I'm not really sure. But I thought the red would look good, and it did. So these are for Caritas. Also, I finished this hat. This one is called Kingsley hat by Andrea Mowry. And this is knit out of Labianame Aran. This is the lightest contrast color on the Dreyma sweater that I did for my sister. This is the leftover that I had. I really like the stitch pattern. It was super quick. It took me one Saturday evening to make. I think I'm going to put a pom-pom on it. I think I'm just going to make a pom-pom with the leftover yarn that I have. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I really like this. I think it's beautiful. And it was super fast, super fun. And yeah. So that's almost it for finished projects. I need to look at my notes a little bit because my brain is a little bit all over the place. Yes. The sweater that I'm wearing, the elephant in the room. This is the Felix pullover. I'm gonna scoot up a little bit. I really like this raglan detail that you can see here. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And she also has a cardigan, like the same pattern, but a cardigan, an open one. And I kind of want to make that one too. This is basically what it looks like. I've been wearing this a lot since I finished it. I finished it last Wednesday, a week ago. I started it on a Saturday and I finished it on a Wednesday. I probably would have finished it on a Tuesday if I didn't go to the movies, which I did. So this was a super quick knit. Of course, I'm one of the, I think this is the smallest size. It has a little bit of positive ease, but not a lot. I didn't want it to be super big on me. I think of it as a layering piece. I put it over dresses and long tops and high-waisted jeans and stuff. But this has been super cozy. So I made this sweater with one strand of Camaros Lama tweed. The colorway is Sort, which is black, number 6999. And then I held it together with one strand of Filcolanatillia mohair and this dark gray color, which is number 331. So one strand of this and one strand of this made this. So the mohair, it softens the black a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe if I move a little closer. If I only have the black here, you can see it a little bit. The mohair just softens it, makes it a little softer, and of course fluffier, which I like. So I'm becoming a big fan of this mohair. I think it's really nice, and I love the color collection it comes in. It comes in so many different and beautiful colors. Oh, there he is. Okay. I think that's it for finished projects. I have been wondering if I should make any Christmas presents. Once upon a time I used to make almost all the Christmas presents that I gave. But then I found it super stressful, and I think I've had enough of stress for 1 year, so I'm gonna give myself a break. I mean, if I happen to make some, that's fine, but I'm not gonna like set a goal and just make a bunch of Christmas presents, because I don't want to burden myself with that. I want to try and enjoy December as much as I can. But I can show you some whips. I have a bunch of whips. Or not a bunch, I think I have like 4 that I want to show you. First off, I started the Chrysler shawl from Westknit's Best Knits 3, because I've been wanting to make that shawl ever since I sent it off to test knitting many months ago. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and it's just so big and drapey, and I love it. So this past weekend I was like, okay, I can't wait any longer, and I decided to cast it on. And I'm gonna show you what it looks like at the moment. This is what I have so far. I love this. I think it's so pretty. I'm happy with this light so you can actually see what I'm showing to you. This is the yarn that I'm using. The green is from the Uncommon Thread. It's 100% superwash merino, and the colorway is Spunni, something like that. And this speckled beauty is Walk Collection Cottage Merino in the Beach Foam colorway. I love this. I've had these skeins in my stash for a while, and these as well. And of course it's green. I love green, as you should know by now. if you've watched an episode or two. I think I have 200 and something, 210 stitches on my needles now. It looks like a big smile. Or a hat piece. It could also be like a funky hat piece. Anyway, yeah, I think I have 200 and something stitches on my needles now. It's growing fast, and it's a lot of fun to make. I think I'm gonna work on this a little more this evening after I finish recording. What else do I have to show you? I have more Christmas socks. I decided that I wanted Christmas socks as well. So I got this beautiful 50-gram skein of BFL nylon, 75/25. This is also dyed here in Iceland by, her name is Ditta. She works with my mom. She has a company called Ditta's Dye Dream. And when I saw this colorway, I fell in love with it. It reminds me of like antique Christmas. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So I called my mom and I was like, when you go into work today, can you please see if she has a 50-gram skein of it for me? And she did. So this is what I have so far. I'm doing a 2x2 rib on this pair. Usually I do a 1x1, but now I'm doing a 2x2. And this is also just a mini skein that I had in my stash. I did a German short row heel. You can't really tell because it's not on a blocker. Yeah, I always get these holes here, which I then just, when I weave in my ends, I close the hole. So yeah, you can't really see the heel properly because it's not on a blocker, but the yarn is what's most important. I think it's beautiful. And I did the heel in the brown as well, and I'm gonna do the toe in the same color as well. I think I have a small. This is the mini skein that I'm using, or part of it. It looks like a bow tie. So these will be my Christmas socks. Caritas already has hers, and these will be mine. And then last night I decided that I wanted to have an advent knit for myself. I've wanted to make these mittens. They're called Spunni by Ellie of Skin Deer Knits. I've wanted to make these forever. Since they came out, I think it was last year. Yeah. The Spunni mittens are my contribution to the Not Everyone Goes to Rhinebeck virtual festival. It wasn't this year, but last year. It was Ellie's contribution to that. And what I did here, I made a project page on Ravelry, which I will link to down below, and everything else that I talk about in this episode. And I divided the pattern into, I think it's 22 or 23 days. So it's most of Advent, it's not all of it. And For day 1 I did the first cuff. For day 2 I did the first 7 rows of color work. And for day 3, which is today, today is the 3rd of December, I did rows 8 to 14 of color work. So I am doing about 7 rows every day. Some days there are more, like when I reach the top of the mittens and I'm doing decreases, I'm doing all of them. I'm finishing off the mitten as soon as I start the decreases in one day. And I think that's more than 7 rounds. I think it's more like, well, I can check. Yeah, it's more like 12 or 13. I am using this yarn that I got in Sturkurinn here in Iceland. The red is called Bantam and the grayish brown is called Yorkstone. Here and here. And I really love them together. A little festive, a little bit. And this is what I have so far. See, here is where the mitten, it's a mitten. This is where the thumb will come. So this is the palm, basically, like this. And this is the back of the hand here. And as you can see, I haven't done much. I've done the cuff and I've done 14 rows of color work. And this is what it looks like now. And I'm really, really happy. And this is bringing me a lot of joy. I couldn't stop thinking about these mittens when I was working today. I have a really busy week at the office because it's the beginning of the month, so there's a lot of things to do and a lot of things on my task list. So usually I don't have a lot of time to think about knitting when I'm at the office. I usually always do a few rows of my socks during my coffee break. But like sitting by the computer, I'm usually completely, my head is in the work that I'm doing. But today I was like, the mittens, which is weird. But yeah, they are a lot of fun and they are giving me a lot of joy. So I'm super happy that I made this decision. So I think it's by the 12th of December, I should have the first mitten finished. And I am taking a photo every day and putting it on my Instagram highlights. What am I calling it? Let's see. Advent 2019. Yeah, that's it. So you can see my progress if you're interested. You can see it on Instagram. So yeah, these are my Advent mittens. And they are living in one of my favorite project bags. This is a project bag that my friend Emilia gave me at EYF. I love this project bag. It's so good for these small projects. And I love cats, as most of you know. And this has a lot of cute little cats on it. And I really, really love it. I have my mitten project and 4 balls of this yarn in here. So even if it's tiny, it's mighty. I have one more project to share with you today. I've been cleaning out my stash a little bit. I sold a bunch of it and gifted some of it away, and I've just been... Now I feel like I can close my eyes and I can dive into it, and whatever I pull out, I will be happy with. This also resulted in a big box of all kinds of leftovers and mini skeins. Yeah, it's mostly gray and yellow. My cat got into this one at some point. Ooh! Yeah. Still, you know, it's gonna be okay. I can use it. I can work with this. I have a bunch of all kinds of stuff. I can keep going. And I can keep going. So the general theme of this, I basically started a crochet blanket. And the theme is gray and yellow, in a broad sense of those two colors. I mean, this is going in there. This also has pink. This is going in there. It also has turquoise and orange. This has gone in. This is more green, but oh well. Definitely yellow. Definitely yellow. Gray. And pink. And all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I decided, I've been thinking about this blanket for a long time. I'm talking about years. So I started it. It's a ripple blanket. It looks like this. This is what I've done so far. I started here and I'm up to here. I have no idea how many I cast on. I basically did a huge chain, and then I sat down my pattern, and then I cut the end off because it was too long. It's about 120 centimeters wide at the moment, but it's gonna get wider because it still needs to be washed and blocked, and then it's gonna grow because it's mostly all superwash. It's gray, yellow, hand dyed. That's the criteria it has to make it into the blanket. And this is what it looks like. I'm going to show you the colors up close. I know this is Fool's Gold by Hedgehog Fibers. I know this is BarbaKnitStories. This is leftover from my Speckle and Pop. No idea. Vivid Wool Mini Skein. No idea. No idea. Walk Collection. Fru Valborg. Labianame. No idea. No idea. Mini Skein. BarbaKnitStories. And that's it. And I'm just doing a row here and there, and I love it. I know that a row takes about 5.5 to 6 grams, like 5 to 6 grams of yarn, because it kind of depends. I mean, I think the sock weighs a little bit more than the singles. Not a lot, a little bit. And the bases are also a little bit different, so I just did, I think I weighed it when I had like 18 rows, and I just divided the number by 18, and it was like 5.666 something. So it's between 5 and 6 grams that it takes. So a leftover needs to be 6 grams for it to come into this blanket. And I'm never making more than 5 ripples with the same yarn. And sometimes I'm just making 1, and sometimes I'm just making 2, and you know, just whatever I feel like doing, basically. I love this so much. Yeah, it's definitely a long-term project. I started it over the weekend or last week, something. Oops. Unraveling here. Let me see. There's no way that I can show you how wide it is. It's basically from arm to arm. So yeah. I'm really happy that I finally started this. And are you one of those people who's always collecting their leftovers and you're gonna do something amazing with them? Well, I do that as well. I do a lot of amazing leftover projects, even if I do say so myself. And I'm pretty good at using up my leftovers. But then, every once in a while, I'm just like, ugh, I need to like clear the air kind of thing. So, having a big project, can you see Balder's tail? Balder! Anyway, every once in a while I just want to I want to just clear it out, and making huge crochet blankets is a great way to clear out your leftovers and scraps. So that's what I'm doing. I know I have 2. Yeah, I have the northeasterly, and that's basically going to be the project that takes the smaller leftovers and the colors that don't really fit into this one. So I have the northeasterly, and then I have the granny square crochet blanket as well. Well, anyway, doesn't matter. Like you can see, I love crochet blankets. I think they're amazing. And this one was a gift from my Saturday knitting crochet group that meets every Saturday. They gave me this beauty, and this one is, yeah, I love this more than anything, this thing. So yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to share today. I'm gonna talk a little bit about life stuff. There hasn't been much going on. Steven is coming in December, and he's gonna spend Christmas here, which I'm super, super happy and thankful for. So it's just gonna be me and him and my kids. It's gonna be a super lazy Christmas, just pajamas and knitted socks, and we're gonna binge watch the Star Wars movies and eat a lot of good food, and it's gonna be amazing. And then in January, my friend Orietta from Italy is coming for a visit. In April, my friend Tracy is coming for a visit, so I have some exciting things to look forward to. which is really good because November and December so far have been so dark and so heavy. I mean, this time of year is usually pretty hard and dark, of course. I feel as I grow older, I can definitely feel the darkness more. Like in a bad way. I think it's cozy up to a point. I think it's nice up to a point, but having 4 or 5 hours of daylight and spending those few hours at the office, you hardly notice that it brightens up a little bit. And usually it's so cloudy and like overcast that it's just gray. Everything is either completely dark or gray. So I got a few requests if I was gonna do Vlogmas. No, I can't. It's pitch black when I leave, and it's pitch black when I get home. And filming in darkness is really hard. I would have to do a lot of editing or like walk around with an extra light or something, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work that I do not feel committed to doing. So no, I will try to film like here and there and put it into my regular podcasts or into my stories on Instagram. But I'm not gonna do the typical Vlogmas every day kind of thing because it's too much for me. I don't know if I have anything else to share. Things are just going the way they should be going. Work, school for Caritas, and yeah, Baldur is fluffy and nice as always. Yeah, I don't really have much else to share at the moment. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet this time around, and I'm hoping that now I have a light and I'm not as tied down to recording only in daylight and only over the weekend. I can try to move closer to my twice a month, like every 2 weeks podcasting schedule. So I hope that I can commit to that from now on. I'm gonna do my best. So I will see you when I see you next, hopefully in about 2 weeks, give or take. So I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye. Are you the cutest cat alive? Yeah, I think you are.